Hello everyone, welcome to Free Pattern Friday and welcome to my channel. My name's Natasha for the new subscribers that I've been receiving, and welcome to my channel and welcome to everyone. You're all very welcome here and I love to hear your comments from commenting in the comment boxes below. Everything that I will show you today will be in the description box below. I tend to put them in the description box below, not necessarily in order, because by the time I've remembered where it comes from, I go to whatever I'm on and then I just list them just for ease. And that is just for your information, just in case you realise that actually they're not always listed in the order that I actually show them. If you can like and comment and share my channel, that would be really helpful, because I am trying to grow my channel. So if you can give me a mention or just tell your friends, that would be really good too. So how's everyone? I've had a most fantastic week. The weather has been glorious and I'm doing all right with my projects, and so I'm really pleased. I'm hoping to get quite a bit done over the weekend, but again the weather is supposed to be actually quite nice now, so I've seen, so I don't know whether I'm going to be out and about or not. And of course next Wednesday is my last day before the summer, so we will be able to have lots of crafting time during that time. So enough gobbledygook from me. I shall carry on and I will show you what I've just been looking for this week. I'm going to start with the practical things. Let me just check, because I'm wondering which pile's which. That one, oh yes. Sorry. That's fine. Okay, that's fine. So I'm going to start off with something practical to show you today. Oh, sorry, spend most of my time turned, don't I? And this is a Bernat Handcrafter cotton oven mitt. Of course you don't need to use Bernat, as I keep saying. Whatever the pattern says, if you want to get that, and you can of course, but my aim is to find things that you can stash bust with, and so of course don't worry, you don't have to always use what they say, but I thought, because I hadn't done an oven mitt so far, I thought this would be quite good, because we all kind of make pot holders and things like that to keep the table from spoiling if you've got a hot dish, but of course taking it out is another matter. And it's just a plain one, it's not too exciting. There's a little flower there, but again that's an embellishment, so you don't have to do it if you don't want to, but it would just be nice to have something homemade in the kitchen, and so I thought it might be of use to someone. And the yarn, like I say, is the Handcrafter cotton. And it comes in 50-gram balls if you actually want to get the Bernat Handicrafter cotton. The main colour is beige, and they say to use 3 balls, so that's 150 grams. And then the contrast colour, which is purple and light purple, is 1 ball of each, not necessarily using that. And if you want to not use those colours, you don't need to worry. If you've got a certain colour scheme, of course, then that's fine. And they're suggesting to use a 9mm hook. I do suggest using cotton for this, but there's lots of cotton on the market, so you don't need to worry necessarily about using that particular one. But the gauge is 7 single crochets to 8.5 rows, which equates to 4 inches, and 10 centimeters with a larger hook and 3 strands of yarn. The instructions are to note that to change colour, you work the last 2 loops on the hook, draw a loop in the next colour through 2 loops, and hook to complete the stitch and proceed to the next colour. Of course, that's just the way we normally would change colours, but if anyone didn't know that and they're just starting out and they would like to make this, then that's obviously for your information. The only other thing really that I need to make you aware of without reading the whole pattern is that they have a bullion stitch diagram just there, so that you learn how to do the bullion stitch. And I'm sure it was I think it was actually Sally from Nana Moon's Crochet who was on about the bullion stitch, but correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure whether it was her her channel or not that I saw it on. I'm sure she was talking about learning the bullion stitch, but I'm not really sure. So that is really all I need to be talking about for this pattern. So that was a nice quick one to start off with, but it's always handy to try and make things yourself. Now, I am obviously aware that it is Christmas in July, and so I've got some Christmas ones. A lot of my patterns, I've been looking through my own Ravelry library to find different things, and not just relying on other sites for it. I do tend to lean on the PDFs because they're easier to print out and then you don't get the adverts. But I found these and they are Santa gift tags. Now, wouldn't it be lovely if you've got a gift to give somebody and the gift tag is actually crafted as well, so it's something else for them to keep? I think that would be such a lovely idea, and I just had to share it with you. The picture is quite grotty. It's not, it isn't really very clear at all, but I can see some googly eyes there. And it is explained quite well there anyway. They're saying that they're using lily sugar and cream to use for this, and it's 3 inches wide, which is 7.5 centimeters, or 3.5 inches, which is 9 centimeters high, but that excludes the hat. Not that the size really matters. I suppose it all depends on whether you've got room to stick, you know, a large-ish gift tag inside, you know, to write who it's for. But they're suggesting that you use 1 ball of each. I suppose you would need 1 ball of each. Well, I don't know how many you could get out of the balls, but they're saying that it's a 5mm hook. All the size needed to obtain the gauge, and the gauge is 15 centimeters and 16 rows, which equates to 4 inches or 10 centimeters. And then they just literally jump straight into the pattern itself. But I just thought I would share that with you too, because it's nice to have everything personalised at Christmas, you know, and it will save waste by throwing it away if you don't really want it. And And of course you can even reuse them, you know, if it's gifts that stay within the family, if they don't want to have them themselves, it's always nice to have a stash of them. So you could always use Christmas in July, for argument's sake, to make up quite a few of them so that you've got enough to go around and share with everyone. And then we have from Hobby, and that is the reindeer Christmas stocking. And I'll show you that. I thought that was quite cute, just to put bits and pieces in. Even adults, you know, like to have quite a comical stocking, don't they? So the skill level is intermediate, and the crochet hook used is 5.5 and 3.5 millimeters, and it's approximately 36 by 23 centimeters. There's a stitch marker, black embroidery thread, white sewing thread, and a sewing needle required as for the materials. And then they're using Baby Snuggle Solid, which is 1 cream skein and 1 teddy bear skein. The yarn, Rainbow Cotton 8/8. Now, I learnt about this, and the 8/8, just for anyone that wants to know, is the yarn weight. So a DK cotton, I'm thinking, because that's usually an 8 weight, and it's an 8 strands to make the twist of that cotton. So when you see 8/4, it's only 4. I think that's the way round. I wrote it down, but I wrote it down on my phone, and I'm using that for filming, so that doesn't help me, does it? I will check it, and I will write it all in the description box below, just for your information. But the yarn is Rainbow Cotton, also, and then they just go straight into the pattern. It is very well explained, and there is a photo bits a bit later on, but I didn't print it all off. And there's a website link to get the exact materials from the Hobby website if you do so choose to. Now we have got just a coaster, which is a Christmas bauble coaster. I did show the reindeer one and a snowman one before, and I thought this would be nice. And it's not just to be used as coasters, you can use them as table decorations as well, just laying on there, just to make it look pretty. And the materials you need are Friends Cotton 8/8, a skein of red, green and silver. In the Friends Cotton it's tomato, jungle green and silver. And Glitter Deluxe, you need 30 grams of that, which is gold. And one skein allows you to crochet 5 coasters out of it, with a 4mm hook. You need some scissors and a darning needle. The gauge is 20 double crochets to 8 rows, which equates to 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters or 4 by 4 inches. And they've got hashtags for social media, and if you've got any questions you can always email the support team, and that's at the bottom of the page. And it just comes in one size. The pattern information that they've given is that a beautiful coaster in a Christmas bauble shape will immediately put you in the Christmas mood, and you can use the coaster as a coaster or as a table decoration. But I already told you that anyway, because I thought that would be a smashing idea. So there is the Christmas bauble one. Now we've got a child's Rudolph hat. And I thought that would be nice for anyone that is a Rudolph enthusiast. And the pattern information is that Rudolph is a reindeer that guides Santa Claus and all the other reindeer around the world, remarkable among all thanks to his pretty red nose. This cute beanie will amuse your child for a whole Christmas period and maybe more. Bring the Christmas spirit everywhere. And it says that Rudolph hat is made with Friends wool, a thick, soft and very elastic yarn which makes it perfect for the hats. The details are worked with Friends cotton 8/4 yarn. This pattern is beginner friendly and uses basic stitches. Again, you don't have to use the yarn that they say, but it's always nice to choose whatever you like, and it's nice to have a pattern that you really feel comfortable with. And I just thought it was really cute, so had to show you. Now we're going to go with some more baubles, but these are the ones that look like grannies. I think they do anyway. And the materials that they're using is the Sheepy's Wool Cotton 8, and it's crochet hook 2.5mm. Oh, did I tell you that it was? I'm not sure. Hold on a minute. Oh yes, 4.5mm hook for the Rudolph hat, and it's 14 double crochets over 11 rows, which gives you 10 by 10 centimeters. Sorry about that, I forgot. Now, 2.5mm hook for this, and the Christmas balls are 3 inches in diameter. You use some of last year's decorations. Oh yes, so if you haven't got a polystyrene ball, or you don't want to use one, you can always use any traditional Christmas bauble and then cover it with the cotton to make new ones, which is a really good idea. A yarn needle to sew the ball together, and it's made in 2 halves. So you do 1 half and then you do exactly the same the other side, and then you just stitch them all together. I've made them a few times, but I wanted to share because I thought they were really pretty and will be a lovely addition to wake up the Christmas tree and give you something different, especially if you can't afford new baubles, because they are very expensive nowadays. The special stitches are the spike stitch or long single stitch. Insert the hook between 2 double crochets from round 2, yarn over, draw up a loop and to the same height as the working row, yarn over and draw through both loops on the hook. So one last look. I think they are very pretty. Now I have got 2 more after this of the Christmas ones, and I thought what better than to give somebody that loves hot chocolate with marshmallows and Christmas biscuits a mug and some biscuits. And I'm sure you've seen this pattern 100 times before, but I just love it and I had to show it, especially with the candy cane there. I thought that was really nice. And if you want to use safety eyes, you need to use 8mm ones in between rows 13 and 14 with 4 stitches between, and the yarn needle stitch to stitch on the mouth and cheeks. And the notes are that in the brackets at the end of each round states that the total number of stitches that you should have completed for that round. The tension is not crucial for this project, and you can use any yarn to make this amigurumi. For example, if you use a smaller hook and suitable yarn, the amigurumi will be smaller, which is common sense, and maintaining the same proportions. And it's used with a 3.75 hook and a 4-weight yarn. And then it goes straight into the pattern. You just need to have, you need a 3.75mm hook and a 2.75mm hook, some stuffing, a needle, stitch marker, 10mm safety eyes and 5mm safety eyes, and with some white Chanel stem. I'm assuming that that is the 5mm eyes would be for the little marshmallows and the 10 would be for the mug. But if you're not using them, obviously you can just make them and do them in black cotton. So that's it. Skill level easy. What a treat. And then I have got a robin for you, a robin bauble, and there's also a penguin bauble there as well. So it's exactly the same pattern, it's just a different colour variation. And they're 6 by 6 centimetres for the finished size. You can use DK or worsted weight yarn, small amount of brown and red or black and white, 4mm crochet hook or the size suitable for your yarn depending on what you use, some ribbon, a small piece of felt for the beak, that's if you don't want to crochet a small beak, contrasting yarn or felt, small beads for the eyes, or you can just again make embroider your own, and then fabric glue to stick on the little bits of felt, some stuffing and a tapestry needle. Please note that it uses British crochet terms, which is the English in actual fact. So where it says double crochet will be effectively the single, and it gives you that in brackets anyway, so it's all thoroughly explained. This pattern is an original design by Claire Sibley. I haven't mentioned the designers, have I, for a while, but that's because they haven't actually been up. They're just kind of, they're not written there, so where it is stated I will of course let you know. Feel free to make as many as you wish for gifts and personal use, but please note that you are not permitted to use any amigurumi design for commercial purposes or to redistribute this pattern without my express permission. If you have any problems or suggestions or comments about this pattern, then please contact the lady on her Gmail, which is stated in the pattern. But I think that'll be a nice addition to any little shelf hanging, or even just the Christmas tree. And then we have got a pair of mittens. Now, for those of you that like colour work, there is the chart on the back, and that's what they look like. Have a snowflake on each glove. But I thought they were really quite cool and I wanted to show you. The skill level is intermediate because of the colour work, and they're saying to use the Karen X Batone or Batoni. 3.5 ounces, which is 100 grams, in Ocean Surf. Again, you can use any colour and you can use any brand of yarn, you don't need to worry. The US hook is J, which is a J10, which is a 6mm hook, or an L11, which is an 8mm crochet hook, or the size you need to obtain the gauge. And then you need some stitch markers, and there is instructions. It says before working with the yarn multi-shade, braid separately, separate each colour link and wind into 5 separate balls. Each colour link will be preferred referenced by the Pantone brand, and that is these ones here, if you're using the same. But obviously if you don't, then you just do 5, break up your ball into 5 bits. So it's to help you with the colour work, I'm assuming. And then it will help you to be able to work it out more easily. And one size to fit an average, their average size to fit an adult, so that's fine. And this is American terms as well. So it goes straight into the pattern, and then it's got all the instructions on the back. So I just thought I would show you that. So next I have got Lollycraft Crochet, which is a Star Baby Lovey. Now I thought anything that's raggy, anything that will scrunch up, that a child can hold and suck if need be, I just think is really nice. And the fact that they just look so cute. There's no facial expression, it's just eyes, but I really love it, and I should imagine it will work up quite quickly as well. And it says, say hello to Star Baby. Star Baby loves to snuggle, comfort and encourage. This lovey crochets up quickly and is small enough to fit into any travel bag. Star Baby is the perfect gift for any occasion. You will need light worsted weight yarn, 15 grams for the face, 20 grams for any other colour for the body and the hat, small amount of pink yarn for the cheeks, and brown or black for the eyes. It's a 5mm hook. Not the gauge isn't crucial for it. Try to keep the stitches as tight as you can when stuffing the head, so that it doesn't show through the stitches. And it says different hook sizes and yarns may be used to achieve different or lighter or heavier finished item. The terminology is US terms, and the other items needed: stuffing for the head, stitch markers and darning needle. And then it goes straight into the pattern, but it tells you about the half double crochet 2 together and the single crochet 2 together as well. And so I just wanted to let you know that, just in case it was something that this is what I call like a traditional lovey, because I saw lots of them years and years ago. So I just wanted to share because it was a free pattern. And now I have been looking up some corner to corner patterns, and this is a lovely shawl. I love the colourway. You don't obviously have to use the same colourway, but they're using Karen Colorama halo yarn, which is 71% acrylic, 18% nylon, 11% polyester. And there is, it's a 227 gram skein, which is 962 yards. The sample wrap used 2 skeins of it in the tin and tan colourway. The hook is a 12mm hook, and it's using 5, the gauge is 5 mini corner to corner blocks, which is 4 inches or 10 centimetres. And I love corner to corner, and I just think that would be really lovely and soft to wear when it's really cold, walking the dog, or just snuggling up reading a book, or doing some crochet, of course. There's an introduction and a tutorial video on YouTube. You just follow the link when you look at the pattern. And the pattern notes are, if you want to use 1 skein of it, of this particular yarn, for each of the rectangles. Measure your work after row 30. If your work is larger than 25 inches, then omit the row 36 and go directly from row 35 to 37. This will ensure that you have enough yarn left for rows 37 to 65 for the joining the rectangles. And the pattern is from Pretty Peaceful Pashmina Crochet. Really, really love it. And this next one is a corner to corner vest. I love the stitch and it makes it really nice and cozy. And it says that this one is a DK weight, paint box yarn, simply DK, 4mm hook, and the gauge is 9x9 clusters, will be 5 inches or 13 centimeters wide or tall. Finishing bust measurement, small to medium is 36 inches, large to extra large is 42 inches, 2XL to 3XL is 56 inches. When the pattern differs for different sizes, instructions are written for the smallest with larger in the parentheses. The overview is this pattern is made using corner to corner stitch to diagonally make a series of 3 double crochet clusters or blocks. The corner to corner stitch does not lend itself well to written instructions, so there is a video tutorial which you can find which will demonstrate both corner to corner stitch and how to change colour every row, which is normally a challenge in corner to corner crochet. Again, you have to change colour, but you don't necessarily need to if you don't want to. If you're already familiar with the stitch, you will find a chart below where each corner to corner block is represented by a single square. And that was, I didn't print that bit out, but it is on the pattern. And then the pattern is also written row by row, indicating how many blocks that you have in each row. The pattern is made in 3 pieces, 2 front pieces which are seamed along the middle and a larger back piece seamed along the edges and the shoulders. You may work ribbing along the raw edges of the work after the seaming. But I thought it was something a little different, so I wanted to let you know. And now I've got a crossover bag for you. Now I have shown crossover bags before, and I'm not sure whether I actually showed this one or not, so forgive me if I haven't, but I didn't check to see what I'd already done. But this one I liked because it uses an old handbag strap, so if you've got one, then it means that you can just refresh it and reuse it, you know, because if your bag has broken, like the zip or something, and you don't want to replace it, you get bored of it or whatever, then of course you can make your own, or you know, someone that really likes it, then you can make it for them. And I like the fact that the strap is still going to be sturdy and it won't actually stretch over time. And that's really all it says on here, because the other it just went straight into the pattern, so I didn't see the point in printing it all out. The grey one is 22 by 12 by 8 centimeters, and the zipper is a 20 centimeter. Crochet as tight as possible with a crochet hook of 3mm, and the terracotta one is 28 by 17 by 9, which is a cozy set, 200 grams, so that's obviously a bigger one, with a zipper of 25 centimeters. Crochet as tight as possible with a 3.5mm hook for that one. Now I've got a couple of blankets. which are a patchwork granny, which I think looks traditional and is super cool for just using up yarn scraps, because you can just pick them up and do them whenever you like and add them, and it can be a year or two's long project, and you just literally keep adding and adding and adding, and it's fabulous. As long as you're not too worried about what colour goes next to what, I suppose. But yes, I thought I would show you, and that is just literally the granny square as normal, and you've got the instructions on the back. If you don't know how to make one, they've got the diagrams and things and the photos to show you as they go along. You can make it in any size, and you can use a 4mm hook, chain 4, or use a magic circle. And that's basically all you need to know, because the rest is self-explanatory. And then this one is a baby blanket that I found, which is a flower patch baby blanket. And I like the fact that the bobbles make it come to life. You don't have to use the same colourways, of course. I'm not sure that I like the two colours right next to each other like that. I would have to do it all one colour, or maybe in a variegated, but I don't know. Maybe it would be fine if there was like a third colour. I don't know, just like, you know, my Yasmin blanket that I'm making that I show on my Wednesday video. You know, if you've got the colour blocks, that's fine, but I think maybe it just needs a third. I don't know, but I quite like it just plain. But you use a DK yarn, 4mm hook. The finish size is 85 by 100 centimeters, and it's made in UK terminology. And it explains how to make the bobble, and that's really quite straightforward other than that. So it's single crochets for those of you that use American terms, and then the bobble stitch. Now we have a pattern by the lovely Sandra Paul, and it's the Dolly Mixtures blanket, which is a granny, which is got some bright colours in it, which is unusual for her, really, in a sense. I mean, this pattern is quite old. It's from 2018, but the she normally uses vintage colours, which I suppose these still are, but normally it's muted and not bright, so it's nice to see a bright coloured one that you can just use up your scraps for. You don't necessarily need to buy balls of wool for it, because you can do any colour. But if you want to stick to what it says, which a lot of people do like, then that's fine too. It's the useful information is that the terms and abbreviations are on page 3. There's a written pattern for UK, which is on page 4 and 5, and there's a written pattern for US terms, which is 8 to 10, and there's helpful photos on page 7 as well. The tutorial links are the classic granny square, weaving in ends, crochet joins from the back, magic loop, and joining slip stitch. It's a 4mm hook and a yarn needle. You can substitute any of the yarn. You just use the appropriate hook size, and remember the yardage required. She does use Stylecraft Special DK, and there's 19 balls that are used in 9 colours. 3 balls of fondant, 2 balls of all the others, which is Aster, Cream, Sherbet, Candy Floss, Fondant, Lipstick, Pistachio, Mustard, and Cypress Green, or approximately 5,500 yards of your own choice. And this skill level is for beginner / improver, Made up of simple granny squares and basic joining techniques, some experience with intermediate patterns would be helpful for the border. Beautiful. Sometimes we forget about the simple patterns when we try to expand our techniques and our crochet knowledge. And this last one is a bit like Jacob's Ladder. But this is a Marley Bird pattern by Yarnspirations, and it's an intermediate because of the changing colours and the technique, and it's called a pulled taffy blanket. This unique braided stripe blanket designs is brightly coloured to keep baby happy, whilst being sophisticated enough to add the perfect pop of colour to any adult relaxing space. We have shown it in a baby-sized blanket, but also includes instructions for the larger throw as well, so it's not just a baby blanket. The loops are now worked independently for each other as you go, and you are then braided. They are then braided and locked in place in the end, and then it goes straight into the pattern, so I won't need to worry about that. They use a Susan Bates. I use Susan Bates hooks too. 6mm hook, but again, you don't have to. If you don't like to use that, that's fine. And they're using Red Heart Super Saver, and again, if you don't want to use that, you don't have to either. So I just thought I had to show you that as something different. And then last but not least of these is a crochet sock, because I forgot to put it in the useful pile. It was right underneath and I didn't see it. And it's just something that can go in a stocking for Christmas, and you can make them Christmas in July as well, ready for Christmas and things. Not just, you know, at the end of the year, but for those that want to reduce plastics, obviously it makes a good idea to put your soap in. And this pattern is for a crochet sock bag, worked in the round. Is very quick and easy pattern worked up. The texture of the sock is thicker than the kit version for a more exfoliating experience. It's in American terms, and it's approximately 5 1/4 by 2 3/4 inches, and the hook sizes are 4 to 5mm hook. And the pattern is by Laura Ann's Handcrafted Goods, and she's got her own website, which is .com. The speciality stitches are: there is a DTC cluster stitch in the hat overlay. The stitch is fully explained in the instructions below. And there they are. I think they're quite cute. Okay, so now I've just got a few amigurumi to show you, because I like amigurumi and I like to show you some different ones. Safi the Dino. I don't know if I showed this one before, but I don't remember it, so I thought I would show it again if I haven't. Safi the Dinosaur. I love the headphones. And the pattern information is that Safi the Dino is a lovely cuddly friend, crocheted in Friends Cotton 8/4, which of course it doesn't matter. Like I say, I use DK for all my amigurumi, so that's fine. A crochet hook of 2.5, a small piece of black or white scrap yarn, safety eyes of 5mm, and some fibre fill, or you can embroider them, as we repeatedly say all of the time, but I just had to show you it. And as the pattern goes on, it shows you it showed you different, you know, what it looks like at the back, but obviously there's just the spikes at the back and things. And it's 14 inches high. Obviously it might differ if you're using DK or something, but that's And now we have got Hilda the horse. Hilda the horse. It's an intermediate skill level pattern, a 2.5mm hook, a pair of safety eyes of 6mm, fibre fill, pins and tapestry needle. Again, you can embroider the eyes and uses dark brown and beige, but of course you can use whatever colour you want for the horse. You can buy the yarn on the in the link that they put there, and they've got abbreviations. There isn't much to the pattern, so I only put, literally just pulled off that one so I could show you what it looked like. But the pattern is still very well worded, so that's fine. That's Hilda the horse. Now for these two, this is the last two now, so we're all right, doing fine for time. I put them at the bottom of the pile, but this is actually a dino blanket. Now this picture doesn't show what it showed when I was looking through, because the pattern of the blanket, it was all laid out, and the bit that the child kind of sits in or like puts on his head, that was covering the child, and then the pattern like on the floor, and then the pattern came out a bit, the blanket came out a bit further each side, and then you could just have, so it was like a bit like a hooded towel that you put on the head and then wrap it round, and it was really nice, which is why I wanted to show you. But it doesn't show that pattern, that it doesn't show it on the actual pattern, which I was quite disappointed about. But we won't cry over spilt milk, will we? We'll just get on with it and see what it looks like when we're done. The skill level is intermediate. It's 130 centimeters wide and 105 centimeters long. The crochet hook is 6.5, 5.5 and a 3.5 millimeter hook. 10 by 10 centimeters equals 10 double crochets in 5 rows, and that's with the crochet hook 6.5. They're using Baby Snuggle Solid in aquamarine and in fluffy green, but again you don't need to. Rainbow Cotton 8/8 is white, black and pink, but again you don't need to. There is a link to buy the yarn if you want to buy the yarn, that's fine. But again, I wanted to show you it just in case there is any dino blanket lovers out there. And then last but not least is a little memory game, and that is a turtle. And then the big turtle has little turtles inside the tummy, and then you turn them over, like the bellies are different colours, and then it's just like a memory game where you pick it up and see if there's 2 blues or 2 greens or whatever. And the designer is that nerdy hooker, and the pattern information is that the rainbow is a sweet sweet mummy turtle and her babies crocheted in honey bunny. Have fun matching all the babies, and then store them inside the mummy when you're done. The pattern is worked in the round. This is a low sew pattern. The head of the turtle is the only part that needs to be sewn. All the other pieces are worked directly into the body. There's a hashtag for social media and a link to buy the yarn if you want to buy it from them. And it's American terms. It's a safety eyes of 8 millimeters, and you need 12 pairs, and safety eyes of 16 millimeters, 1 pair. But of course you can use you can embroider them if it's for very small children. And the crochet hook is 5.5 millimeters, but that is also because of the texture of the yarn. Obviously if you're only using DK, then it would be a smaller hook, but I just wanted to share that because I have shared some games, crochet games before on my channel. So there is some more, and that is the end of that. So until next Friday, when I see you all again with some more, I wish you well, and I hope you have a lovely crochet crafting weekend and week to come, and I will see you again on Monday for my episodes, but on this Friday thing I will see you next Friday, of course. So see you Monday, everyone. Take care. Love to you all. Bye.